would like to introduce our first speaker, who is Ms. Linda Lin, who is the Chief Legal Officer for Sirius Point. I hope I got that right. Please give a warm welcome to Ms. Linda Lin.
Thanks, Jack. It's with a tremendous heavy heart that I stand before all of you today. But it's my privilege to be with you in honor of the extraordinary life and legacy of the Honorable Dorothy Chimbran, a trailblazer, a jurist, a mentor, and the proud daughter of New York. The Honorable Dorothy Chimbran made history in 1987 when she became the first Asian American woman judge in New York State, elected to the New York City Civil Court. She also was the first Chinese American elected to public office in Manhattan, a groundbreaking achievement that opened doors for countless others. Her journey was one of courage, of conviction. She was born in Queens in 1946 to parents who were both medical professionals. She was deeply rooted in the legacy of service. Her grandmother was the first Chinese American to serve on a jury in Queens, a powerful symbol of civic participation that she clearly carried with her and inspired her own path. She earned her undergraduate degree from the University of Chicago, her law degree from Brooklyn Law School, and a master's of law from Harvard, where she also served as assistant dean. She broke barriers not only in the courtroom, but also in legal practice and education. Her judicial career spanned nearly 30 years, culminating in her appointment as acting justice of the New York State Supreme Court criminal term, Queens County. And through her tenure, she fought tirelessly against racism and sexism, advocating for fairness and inclusion in the legal system. She helped found the Franklin H. Williams Judicial Commission, the nation's first court-based commission dedicated to race and ethnic fairness. Early in her judicial career, she was presiding over a case involving a young Asian American defendant, and she told me this story, that after the proceedings, the young man's mother approached her in tears, not because of the verdict, but because it was the first time her son was able to see someone that looked like him behind the bench. And that moment stayed with her, and she often said that representation isn't just symbolic, it's transformative, and it changes how people see the system and how they see themselves. To many, she was her honor, judge, mentor, friend, and family. To me, she was Auntie Dorothy, not by blood or marriage, but in the Chinese culture, the role of an aunt really transcends mere familial ties. It embodies wisdom, nurture, and the invaluable connection in heritage. I first met Auntie Dorothy when I was 12 years old. She was being honored by the United States Postal Service as a trailblazer. Someone that looked like me receiving such a high honor, I had to have the courage to approach her. And she immediately stopped shaking the many hands in front of her and spent 10 minutes talking to me about what I wanted to do in my future. From that day, she took me under her wing, invited me to visit her at the courthouse, checking in with my mom on my progress in school, read through my college essays, took me out to celebrate my admissions to her alma mater, Brooklyn Law School, introduced me to professors, lawyers, and judges that I now call my friends and mentor. She was one of my biggest cheerleaders, pushing me to run for president of the Asian American Bar Association, telling me my golf game sucked and I indeed needed to take a few lessons. And she was there when I got my first general counsel job, when I got married, when I had my 3 children. Auntie Dorothy was always there. And even though she may not be here physically today, her legacy lives on. In me, in the generations of lawyers and judges that inspired by her, and in the institutions she helped transform. So thank you, Auntie Dorothy, for showing me, for showing us what it means to lead with courage, compassion, and dignity.
Thank you very much. That was beautiful. I would like to now bring up Ms. Judith Hernstadt, who, without the help of her, this day would not be happening. We owe a great debt of gratitude to Will Roseman and Judith Hernstadt. And now we'll hear a little from Judith Hernstadt, who is a very close friend of Dorothy and a member of the club.
What amazing, beautiful smile in all the pictures of Dorothy. I'm sure it wasn't as easy as it seemed, the way she looked. But I'm glad that you learned more about the wonderful, professional, significant things she did. But I'm going to share with you very briefly a little bit about some way Dorothy and I got to know each other and shared a bit of peace and serenity. But first, I want to welcome you here. The club was founded in 1904 as the Arctic Club, and of course, it's meant to bring people together from different places with different interests. And I was happy to share many evenings here with Dorothy. Her broad range of interests gave her intellectual stimulation, and she was always happy to learn about something different and make new friends. Dorothy and I got to know each other when we went up to a so-called spa. Well, that so-called spa, which some of us came to love, but not all of us, although Jack was there many times and liked it a great deal, too, which is nice. It was a sort of no-frills spa. The food was almost good, but could be relied upon to be dietetic and actually very healthy. The exercise classes were great when they occurred, and the water was good in the pool when the pool worked. The rooms were okay when the toilet worked, and well, that gives you a little of the flavor. But it's Dorothy's strength and endearing personality that made us have a chance to get to know each other, and Frederica and Kwame, who you'll hear from later, and to find peace and quiet and serenity amongst the beautiful trees, the simple rooms, and go off hunting for antiques and do various things together. But most of all, to have a sense of peace and quiet in a place where you could get some exercise, eat lightly, and have a lot of time to read or think. And so we all had our separate rooms that we went to fairly early, usually in the evening, so we could do that. And that was what it was like over many, many years. I had been there many years before, but Dorothy and I, and often Jack came up, and once in a while Will came up to tolerate it. Doing a lot of exercise on a regular basis, Will felt underfed. but he was a good sport. Anyway, we all had very happy times. And but it's most of all that strength that you saw in Dorothy as to why she liked it. And it was so wonderful for us to be with Dorothy and talk about different things. We discussed art. She read about many different subjects, and we went hiking in the woods. Life really had a moment that was necessary from the very intense things that went on in other parts of her life, and now you'll hear some more from wonderful people who, some of whom I've been honored to meet over the years. Jack.
Thank you so much. I have such fond memories of Vatra, and it was really a crossroads for some very wonderful people. And one of those people I'd like to introduce to you right now is Ms. Kwarma van der Pooije, who is an international lawyer and a friend of Dorothy. Take it away, Kwarma.
Good afternoon. When I think of Dorothy, not only do I think of her as part of the Vatra Club that Judith just talked about, But when I think of Dorothy, I think of somebody gracious, extremely wise, very humble, and someone who was kind and gracious in ways that you could not imagine. One memory that I had a visiting judge friend from India. And the most difficult decision I had to make was whose courtroom would I take this superior court judge to so she doesn't think that we're all a bunch of maniacs here in the United States. So I called Dorothy. Dorothy was a sitting judge in Criminal Court Queens. And I said, oh, this is going to be good. I took Harpreet Jiwan to Dorothy's courtroom with Dorothy, being the kind and gracious person that she was, invited Harpreet to sit on the bench with her, to look at the courtroom from the other side, something that I as a lawyer have yet to do. And to this day, this was in 2014, to this day, whenever I speak to Harpreet in India, that was her best memory of New York. Dorothy was one of those people that, even though she was gifted with the intellect, the wisdom, the star power, she was also very humble. And I can tell you this. I met her at Vatra, and the last thing I expected would be to have a sitting judge of the Supreme Court of New York be at that club. But in addition to Dorothy, there was Judith and Frederica, and we became friends. Dorothy looked out for me in ways that I could not imagine. She introduced me to people. She referred clients to me. And whenever I think of that woman, I think of somebody who has it all. And really, I can tell you without a doubt, as I'm sure all of you here will know, she will be missed. She will be missed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kwame. That was beautiful. And I would like to introduce a close friend of Dorothy's for many years. Her name is Ms. Alana McGrattan from the land of